So I went from being a totally broke guy living in a flooded apartment to making over $456,000 in sales with my mentor and my partners in just one single year. And here is how I did it. And I'm going to be sharing you 7 steps I took to get to this particular level. Now, number 1 is that you have to realize that the circle you are in right now might not be able to take you to where you want to go. You might have a dream to become somebody in life. Maybe you want to become extremely wealthy. If you are among people who are not wealthy, there's a high chance you are not going to get wealthy. So that realization alone is going to make you start to look for solutions. When you start to look for solutions, there's now a higher chance of you to find something that can actually work for you. Now, number 2, the second thing I also focused on was also mentorship. So now that I realized that, okay, the current place that I'm in might not change my life, might not change my solution. How or what exactly can I do to change my situation? So I started to focus on mentorship. I started to look for networks. I started to go out and look for people that are also hungry like I am. I started to follow people, that people like me are following. So what I simply mean is, if I'm hungry for success and I know another guy that's hungry for success, I just simply go to his bio and check, okay, who are the people that this guy is following? And that way you see a particular pattern, because they follow a particular kind of people that are ready to dish out knowledge to them, ready to mentor them and stuff like that. So I focused on mentorship. So the first step, like I said, you have to realize, it has to be a realization that, okay, what I have now cannot give me what I want. Where can I get it? Next, you have to focus on mentorship. Somebody has to mentor you. Somebody has to tell you exactly what you need to do in order for you to make it. You do not have the resources to be Albert Einstein. You don't have the resources to find something new. Just stick with the old process and follow blueprints that have already worked. Now, the third step is that you need to lock in for a while. There is no successful person that has not been in a situation whereby he just disappeared for a while and needed to be alone. Sometimes there are so many distractions out there. There are so many things that are going to be limitations to you. So you need to make it be okay to disappear for a while. Like, people already know you enough. So we don't need to see more of you, or we don't need to see more of the broke you. Take that broke part of your life and go and lock it in somewhere and come back as a new person. You need to disappear for a while, okay? And for me back then, I think for me, COVID made it much more easier, because everybody was literally forced to be locked in. So during that period, I was working, I was not going out. I was doing a lot of the things that I knew were the things I needed to do, and it really worked for me that particular period. Now, the fourth step is that you need to manage the resources you have right now, and you need to work with what you have, because to the person that little is given, more is going to be given to. So if what you have right now is your mobile phone and the internet, try as much as possible to utilize it to the highest possible level. If your laptop is a laptop that is not working so well, as long as it can do the basic things, try to use it to the maximum. If you need to ask people for more resources to better your business or to grow, in general, that can work as well. But try as much as possible to look around you and use what you have. Now, the only difference between what you have right now and what other people that are successful right now have is just, many times than not, is speed. It means that they will do more faster than you will do, but you will also still get the job done. It's just thinking about somebody who is trying to use a chainsaw to cut down a tree and somebody is trying to use an axe. The person using a chainsaw is going to get there faster, but everybody still gets to the destination at the end of the day. So if what you have is an axe, or what you have is a chainsaw, use it to your fullest. Back then, I just had a small HP laptop. I used it to the fullest. Right now, this laptop came out a few months ago. I have it. It doesn't make any difference in my business. I don't really need it, but because I can afford it, I get it. So you're going to get to that particular level where you get things just because you want to get it. But for now, just use what you have and try to focus on getting the job done. That's actually what matters. Now, the fifth step is that be quiet with your moves and only let people that are important to your progress know. Because I know a lot of people. I have over 15,000 students that I've taught in the past, those who are passive students and those who are active students combined. And one thing I can tell you for sure is that one of the reasons why some of them don't really go very far is because they tell the wrong people what they think is good news. So even if you have good news to share with people, or even if you have things that you think, oh, this is really nice, I think everybody should know it. There are some people who genuinely do not want your progress. You might think that, oh, I'm harmless. I don't have anything against anybody. You never really know. The fact that you're harmless is enough for somebody to envy you, and you don't know where people are talking about you, some places where you are not. So it is super important that you are very quiet with your moves. Nobody in my family knew I had any sort of money till I could not hide it anymore, because of course I got a Mercedes Benz, rented an apartment and all that, and I was just like 21, 22 that particular period, so I had to explain. So if you have sometimes if I think about it and I want to go back in time, I'll be like, I think I would have just like chilled for another 1 year and make much more money than I did during that particular period of time. So I'm telling you for a fact, you keeping your mouth shut is going to take you to places. Now, number 6 is look for patterns and repeat. Because by the time you're following a proven blueprint, by the time you have somebody who has mentored you, by the time you've gotten to a particular level where you're now seeing little results, you start to see patterns. And what separates people who make a lot of money from people who just make money once and die out is patterns. Because the person who keep on continuously making a lot of money has seen a particular pattern, or has seen a particular way he should do business, or he does business that makes him money. So he just has to keep on repeating that pattern over and over and over again. So if there is a business you're doing right now and you tried something the first time, it made you money, you tried the second time, it didn't make you money, and you find out that in that particular business, you always have to try something new every single time to make money, I don't think that's a very good business. That's not a business, that's an opportunity. Because opportunities do not come with a pattern. Business models, that's why it's called a business model. A model is a pattern. So once you've been able to figure out that pattern, you just have to keep on repeating that pattern over and over again. It's a system of repetition. The same way Elon Musk sells one car is how he sells every other car that he owns or that he's trying to sell. So once you find that particular pattern, just keep on repeating it over and over again and keep on recycling your money as fast as possible. Do not act slow, okay? Now, the last but not the least is that you need to find a way to systemize what you're doing so that you don't get lost inside the business. This is quite an advanced advice, if I'll put it that way, because if you're just starting at the beginning, you yourself, you're kind of like okay to make enough money just for yourself. But once you start getting to a level where you start to make $100,000, $200,000, you really cannot really hit some of all those numbers single-handedly or whatever. Probably maybe except you own an Onions fans page or something like that. But you really cannot do that alone. You usually need a big team or a small team. So the system, the patterns put together is what makes the system. So let's assume that you have 4 patterns that makes you money. Put them together, that makes a system. Then you have to find a way to like remove yourself from the business. So that's the part where you now teach people about what you know already and get them to work with you and for you, so that you can remove yourself from the business so that you don't burn out, okay? So you need to find a way to systemize your business. So for me back then, I was doing CPA marketing. CPA is all about me acquiring customers for people. So after I like acquired customers for the company and all that, it got to a particular point where I had so many customers and I could not keep up calling them and stuff like that. So I had these guys in the UK where I trained all of them. They were like about like 16 or 17 of them. I trained them, and now that was like 16 versions of me now handling all those calls. So everybody just reported to me. I was only answering to 16 people, as opposed to back then when I had to talk to maybe 40 customers in a day or 100 customers in a day. Now me having 16 people, if they just handle 10 people each, I could like control 160 people at the same time. So that's how the system works, okay? It doesn't have to be a complicated system. Just make it as simple as possible. I'm telling you for a fact, you're going to like do very, very well. So that's basically the 7 steps I feel if you take, you're going to get to a level where you now make $10,000, $20,000 for yourself. So remember, realization comes first. Then make sure you focus on mentorship and you focus on your networks. Make sure you lock in for a period of time and just give yourself that alone time. Give yourself that time to discover yourself in general. Then make sure you manage resources that you have properly. Then, like I said earlier on, be quiet to your move. Not everybody has to know the progress you're making. Sometimes you just have to keep progress to yourself. Then also look for patterns and also systemize everything you're doing. I'm telling you for a fact, I think that should be about 7 now. I'm telling you for a fact, like your life is going to change forever. So Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.